And you can read more about that on Kent Online. Well, next tonight, been to the cinema lately? Well, you might have noticed the cost of your tickets rising at your local Kent complex. Take Odeon. They've recently raised their monthly subscription by £2, and they're not alone. Experts warn that increasing operating costs and even tax hikes could push prices higher. Well, what would this mean for viewers? Film expert and host of the Kent Film Club, Chris Stacey, joins me on the sofa now. I wouldn't even want to think how often you go to the cinema and how much it costs you. I believe you have some subscriptions, don't you?
I do. I have two, which means that I'm slightly insulated from the ticket hikes. It's only when I take members of the family and suddenly I realise that the cost of taking children with me can go up. In some cases, you could be talking £10 more a month than maybe the equivalent of a year or two ago.
And have you noticed, because obviously you go to some cinemas where you don't pay, where you pay because you don't have a subscription. Have you noticed the cost rising there?
They do, and they often do it in bands. So in some of the cinemas, it means that particularly in areas where there's competition, then they will lower their costs. So you have the irony that sometimes you can be in a city centre and play less than you might do in a slightly more remote location. But also it's the size. If there's like an IMAX screen attached to it, then you can expect to pay quite a bit more. So, but that's only risen by £1 or two. But when you consider like £1 or two for every individual ticket transaction, then it makes sense, unless you only go once a month, to have those sort of membership options, because it can be really expensive. If you take the full family with you, it's not, I've been in this position, even with my free ticket, it can easily cost £50 or £60 sometimes. I mean, you add in popcorn costs, etc. It's a very expensive evening out.
Well, it's often cited that the actual food is where the cinema makes their money, and you can certainly see that rise, can't you?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And so sometimes some of the cinemas are okay you bringing stuff in. Other times there's a strict policy, you know, do not bring food or drink unless you've bought it from the premises. Yeah, I mean, the cost has noticeably gone up. There was a period around lockdown when it felt that they were trying to encourage people back to the cinemas. Often you get like £5 or £6 tickets. That was quite normal. But I've noticed over the summer, some of the chains have got things like a £1 ticket for a children's film, often like at 10 in the morning. And I've overheard people actually, before the schools broke up, parents saying to grandparents, you know, take so-and-so to the cinema next week, it's only going to cost £1. And so, you know, so there's a real incentive when it gets to that sort of costs. But go of an evening, then you could be talking £15 easily just for an adult ticket.
Well, certainly. Chris, thank you so much. We'll be back later in the programme to talk about the pick of the movies this week. But yeah, some good tips there. Little secret, I did used to work in a cinema, and you are allowed to bring your own food in, at least at the chain I worked for. That might have changed. It was a good 10 years ago now. Not hot food, though, or hot drinks, but soft drinks and cold snacks you could get away with.